What are you barking at, Holly? Eesh. So, hey everyone, welcome back to Rebecca's Colouring Arts and Crafts. I'm not sure if this volume is up a little high, so I'm just trying to work on it. I am. Hopefully it's not too loud and you can hear me over it. But I'll check when someone comes on if they can hear me or not. Meanwhile, I'm going to continue here with Diamond Art Club's Spirits. And now it's saying there's no data. Hang on. It's saying excellent over here and no data there. Oh no, there we go, we're back to excellent connection. The joys of internet. I'm just going to continue here with Spirits. I just realised I should probably show you the bit that I've finished. Good girl, Holly. Good girl, hey? You going to settle down somewhere? I forgot to bring out the other bed, didn't I? Boy. I'll go and get it in a minute, baby girl. Hey? Yeah. I'll go and get it in a minute with the bed, baby girl. Oh. Oops. I'm gonna have to. The book's just ripped up the cover bit. Oh well, it is what it is. So, I'll just see if I can get this. I've already got the pen loaded and everything. I'm gonna have to briefly adjust. Holly, can you help me out? Stop eating what you shouldn't. I'll have to go and get her bed. But whilst I do that, I will try and put it on this area that I've finished. Hang on. If I can just sit this up so that it's not falling down. Sorry. If I can get it there. If I can get it around, I'll probably have to flip it around. So, there we go. We're starting to get towards it. We can see a little part of it. Let me just try tightening it there. So you can sort of see this wolf as part of it. So I'll see if I can get it in just a little more briefly, and then I'll go and get Holly's bed, and you can sort of view that. So basically we've just finished some trees and palms, that kind of thing. So just at the moment, I'll just have to quickly show you this, and then I'll have to just move it off camera. So, finish this waterfall area and this palm. I thought I just felt a drill popping out. And this bit of the wolf, so. But yeah, I will be back in a minute. I've just got to go and do this, so you probably won't see the full thing. And then I will go and get Holly's bed so that she's not getting into stuff. Lily's taken the other bed. But girls. Let's get your bed. Down. Go on. Place. Down. Go. You stay. Good girls. You stay. I know it's kind of tricky to see with the light reflecting off the drills, but yeah, it is what it is. I'll just move it back down now. Got to shift out the dog water underneath so that I can work on this easier. Good girls, you stay. So I can get my wheelchair under as best I can. Oops, I can take my off now. This table thing over here where I can access it. Unroll this. Put this torn book up here. I still need to keep the back part because there's a couple of pages still connected. That there. Then we'll continue with our colour A. I'm using one of my favourite drill pens, the colours in that right now. So this is a custom pen, as you've probably guessed. I don't know if you can see that. There, I'm not holding it very well in the light. See it that well, but yeah. And I'm going to continue here with colour A. And what I've actually done this time is I've realised it's the grease on my hands that makes it stick to the drills, sticks to the drill field because of the grease on the plastic, and that's what makes it actually stick really hard. So I folded it over this time so it doesn't stick. At least that's the hope anyway. And then I'm filling in colour A here right now. Also sorry if anything with the issues that I've got in that. I'm sorry if that sort of gets set off with the question someone asks or something. It's not deliberate by any means. It's not. No more rain or storms though, they're gone now for now. Anyway, but it's an early start to our storm season, so not quite sure where this season's going to go. We've already got flowers flowering and all the rest. Yeah. And don't get me wrong. Hi Emma, please don't feel shy to talk. I'm sorry if things set me off the other day, but I'm going to do my best not to let it all get to me and to try and do that. But I do want to talk, and you don't have to stay quiet or anything. So, yeah. I really am sorry for the other day. But please don't feel like you have to stay quiet or can't talk as a result, because that is not what I want. If I have to, and I think that it's something that's going to possibly set me off, I'll just let people know and move on to the next topic of conversation, if that makes sense. Yeah. I will, but you don't have to stay quiet, because I like talking to you. You don't? It's hard to know what to talk about. No. What's the weather like there? I'm guessing it's coming into winter there. I don't know. You're looking forward to Halloween, I guess? Or do you do anything on Halloween, or? I don't know. It is hard to know what to talk about, I will admit that. Because I struggle with that all the time. Right, no, it's still summer. Okay, we're just coming into spring here. So we're just coming out of winter. We are. I usually don't, though. Fair enough. Totally fair enough. Oh, I can't eat them, so thank goodness, but I just thought of the fact, you know how Maxine Puzzle Queen used to do the beans for for different things with them, and I was thinking maybe I should do that anytime that my PTSD or something gets set off, but thankfully I can't eat them. Thankfully I can't eat them, so I can't do that. Thankfully, I can't eat the beans. Thankfully, I can't. I'm usually bubbly and can chat the hind leg off a donkey. I miss Maxine, especially the lives. Yeah. I still remember how I started Casey Eats Beans, hashtag Casey Eats Beans. I'm usually a bubbly person, but lately I've been really struggling with all of my stuff, and I'm really trying to work on changing myself back to that bubbly person that I knew, because I really miss that person. So I'm trying to work on making things better, I guess. You can hear me all right, can you? I'm just checking to do with the volume, because I'm losing my voice a little, so I just wanted to check you could hear me and miss the background sounds. If you hear little weird things happening with it, it's because I chose Halloween ambient sounds with the rain and storms this time. I was kind of in the mood for a little Halloween-y stuff. I was. Okay, that's good. So I did one stream for like 30 minutes when I was testing about coming back, and it was like really hard to hear me. So I've been trying to work on the sound stuff since then to make sure that people can actually hear me. If you want the background noise up a little, I can turn it up a little, but I don't want to drown myself out with the background stuff. It's fine. Cool. Have you been out anywhere? Took Holly out for a walk along the bike paths today. Noticed the jonquils are flowering, and we've got these little white flower blossom trees that seem to flower before the leaves come in. And did a little bit of training in like the supermarket and Kmart, that kind of thing. So did that. I also did some work on training with the martingale collar, because I'm trying to get her used to working with other types of equipment than just the nose harness piece. I am. Yeah. Did some work on Holly's training today. Not totally easy, because I realised she's kind of gotten away a bit with the out of vest obedience stuff because of how I've been, so trying to start working on the out of vest obedience stuff too. Yeah. Did a little of this little piece earlier. Basically slept in this morning. Put it on crooked. No. Got some dinner done. Got the dishes basically done. Got one little pot left to do, or fry pan to do. I need to clean teeth and stuff after this. I'm not sure how long I'll be on tonight, but my phone just buzzed under my butt. My emails. Forgot I was sitting on my phone and it just buzzed under my butt. Not that you necessarily need to know that. Gave me a surprise though. Wonder why it buzzed and didn't make a noise. I guess it's just what it is. Started working on trying to get a bit of spring cleaning stuff started. Getting the dog beds washed and trying to start getting the floor a bit clean and all the rest. Still got a lot to do, but at least it's a start. That's good, I bet. It's never ending in my house. Yeah, there was a lot of build-up of hair, let's just say that. And there were some spots that I couldn't get to because of my disability stuff that I have to try and get to sometime. But it's kind of awkward. But it's good to have it a little cleaner anyway, and to have gotten all the dog bed stuff washed and all of that. And to have gotten most of the hair out. It's good to have a bit of stuff done, but I've still got to work on my bedroom and getting the hair out of my bedroom and all the rest. But I keep telling myself slow and steady wins the race, and a little at a time, and I'll eventually have it all done. I will. Still don't know why I can't get this webcam totally clear. I still don't. Still haven't been able to work that out. I turned the autofocus and everything off so it's not blurry, because the autofocus makes it blurry. And I add low light compensation and work on the brightness and all of that to try and adjust it to the right sort of colour temperatures and that. And yet it still looks slightly blurry on my screen, but maybe That's just because I'm on a mini screen rather than it being a big screen like everyone else is on. I don't know. Who knows? It is what it is. I can only do the best I can. Yeah. It's probably just because I'm trying to see it on a mini screen on the live chat thing so that I can see when people message. Probably is. At least that's the solution I've come up with. At least it's not flickering, which is something. I'm thinking probably before it was probably flickering when I was using it on my bed table in my bedroom, and I can't say that I won't still use it at times on the bed table, but it's obviously much more stable being attached to an actual desk table. It obviously is. Another colour done. I've been curious. I've been questioning myself. Is this doesn't, I don't think this is Halloween themed, really. I'm not sure. But I kind of want to try and complete this and another one as a gift for people, but not sure if I'm going to get it done in time. But that's starting a new one, obviously. But at the same time, I'm sort of questioning, well, I don't really, even though it's wolves, I don't really think this one's Halloween themed too much, and so I'm questioning, well, do I focus on the ones that I possibly want to use as a gift, but that I probably won't be because I'm meeting these people when I go up to Brisbane in January. But I don't think with flight allowances and the fact that mine and Holly's luggage has to fit within my flight luggage allowance and all of that, I don't think it's going to be viable to take this, to take the gifts up there with me. I don't think it will. Which reminds me I need to go and adjust something on my budget allowance later. Basically, I can't have any more unexpected costs because that's going to throw a spanner in the works with my trip budgets. So hopefully no more unexpected surprises, and hopefully it will all work out. And I'm sort of hoping that, like, it's not guaranteed, but I'm sort of hoping that the security bond will come back in whilst I'm still away. They say up to 10 business days for it to be returned. I'm kind of hoping that maybe it'll come back in while I'm away and ease some of the finances stuff, but I guess only time will tell. I can't guarantee that. But yeah, hopefully nothing else unexpected happens. Hopefully my bills come in less than expected. Like, I'm using the heater tonight, but I'm not using the heater as much at the moment. But the electricity bill's due to be read in October. I'm kind of hoping that's less than what I've allocated for it. Fingers crossed. Which will be a little more money towards the trip. Which will be good, because I don't have a lot left in the allowance there. But yeah, can only wait and see, I guess. But yeah, I've been curious as to trying to decide whether I just keep going with this one, because in some ways wolves kind of are a part of Halloween, or whether I switch to Bat's Moon. But then I don't think I'm going to be able to carry both of these pieces up there because of weight allowance for mine and Holly's gear. It all has to come under one because Holly doesn't have any allocated allowance for the plane at all. So it's all got to come under what I've been allocated for my luggage allowance. And I've been considering whether or not I'll take a diamond painting piece with me, just because of the fact that depending on heat and rain, because I'm going in rainy time, whether because I can't take I'm probably going to have to hire a wheelchair to allow me to do the trip that's got a power assist, because I won't know about my NDIS stuff till basically on that time. And if I am approved for the custom chair, it obviously won't be ready in time. And so I'm sort of tossing up, well, I'm probably not going to have be able to take these with me, so do I give a little allowance and do I switch over to Bat's Moon for Halloween come September, or do I keep going with this one because it's still wolves and still Halloween? Because I'm liking just working on one piece at a time lately. But then I got to experience my first ever Halloween last year with Holly, and it's kind of really gotten me into the mood of Halloween, even though I can't decorate and all of that here. So I'm sort of tossing up, well, does this one count as Halloween, or do I switch to Bat's Moon again for Halloween? Or what? Because I don't think I'm going to have this piece and another piece done in time to take up there with me, and with light allowances for mine and Holly's stuff, I don't really think it's viable carrying it up there with me. And I'm tossing up whether I take a diamond painting piece with me up there, because of if I've got rainy days and stuff, then obviously I can't can't go out much with the wheelchair and that, so I'd be doing stuff just at the accommodation other than taking Holly out to toilet. So this is Bat's Moon that I started last Halloween, and I've still got it there to complete. And I'm wondering, whoops, where did it go now? Ugh. I lost it. Hang on. I'm wondering whether I go back to continue that for Halloween, since I'm highly unlikely going to have this and another piece finished as 2 thank you gifts in that time. So I'm tossing up whether I go back to Bat's Moon for the Halloween period or not. I don't know what people think about that, but... or whether I continue this piece, because in some ways wolves are still Halloween as well. That Bat's Moon is probably more the creepy side of Halloween, whereas this is just wolves in a landscape scenery, so... I don't know. I don't know what people think there or whatever, but... I'm just tossing up what I sort of might want to do regarding Halloween, because last year was the first time I really got to experience Halloween with Holly. And it's kind of got me in the mood for Halloween kind of thing, and looking forward to it again this year. But it's like I'm just tossing up, well, would this piece be considered Halloween or not? Just take that one. You mean the one that I'm currently working on? Take this one. Oh, yeah, well, depending on if I'm close to finishing or not, depends on if I'll take it, because I actually, I've got 2 people that I want to do 2 separate pieces for, and I don't want to take just one for one of them and not the other for the other person. So if I don't have both done, then I'm probably not going to take them. And my question is to do with luggage weight and that. If I take a piece for me to do and these 2 pieces that are finished, because depending on if I have money to send them up and just tell them not to open it till I get there kind of thing, that's another option depending, but I'm not sure that that'll work out because of finances. And so I'm sort of, because of my aeroplane weight, that's what's making me hesitate with taking them, because they weigh quite a bit finished. And I don't want to not have room for clothes or any of that sort of thing. And I can't just take one if I need 2 separate ones for 2 different people, so it depends on if I get the other one finished in time or not. And probably then, if I do have a little bit of leftover money, I might even just send them up, ask them not to open it till I'm there, and then open it when I'm around. But I think it's going to take too much of my luggage weight up trying to carry both pieces. If I get both pieces completed, carry both pieces plus another piece, it's going to take up too much of my luggage weight and space. So, because I have to, under my luggage, I have to fit my stuff, Holly's stuff, and all the rest. And the only way I can see it, if I get both completed, which I'm not expecting to right at this point, is if I had a little bit of leftover money to send them up there and ask them not to open it till I get there. Because I got 2 pieces, and that is just not viable with my luggage weight allowances. Buy one when you're there. Yeah, possibility, but I won't have it. I don't have any leftover money to buy one when I'm there. That's the thing. I don't. Basically, I've got enough cash to cover my accommodation, my flights, the security bonds, my food, taxis, and even taxis is limited with the amount. Taxis or public transport is limited with the amount, like hugely limited. Same for food and all the rest. And then basically by the time I do that, I've got no leftover money to do anything that costs or anything that's not free. I've got no leftover cash whatsoever, because all the leftover cash that I did have allocated has gone on unexpected expenses, like bills that cost more than I expected and all the rest. Unexpected costs for my trainer to do a report to try and get Holly on my NDIS plan, all of that stuff. So I have no leftover cash whatsoever to buy anything when I'm up there. Even going anywhere with public transport and that is going to be limited with the amount that I've got left, because that's been reduced too by the amount that I've had to take out for unexpected expenses. Food's been reduced by like $200 from what I had allocated. All of that. I'm going to have to very much carefully budget with the food, because I'm going to be basically buying and cooking myself, but excluding at the airport. So I'm going to have to make sure that I have enough left over for the airport to cover the costs of having to buy food there, because I'm staying there for a couple of days to get myself and Holly adapted and used to it. But yeah, pretty much I have no leftover money after all of the necessary costs have come out. So I can't buy anything when I'm up there anyway. Or anything in Melbourne either. It's even going to be tight having to buy food from Melbourne Airport. It is. That's just how it is. I had to cover the costs, the unexpected expenses, so it is what it is at the end of the day. I couldn't not pay for what I had to pay for, so yeah. But I can only do the best I can do at the end of the day. How long's the flight? Only like 2.5 hours, but I've only got a maximum of 23 kilos in the luggage, so Holly has no excess. Holly has no luggage allocated. She's been approved for the flight, but an assistance dog doesn't have any allocated luggage for their stuff. So any allocated luggage for Holly has to go under my allowance, basically. But it's about 2 hours 15 minutes, and then it's a little longer with the layover time in Sydney to get back to where I am, because I got to transition between 2 flights coming home, but on the way up I'm just going straight from Melbourne to Brisbane. I doubt I'll be using it in the airport because of how I sort of struggle to find my way around at times. But that's why I'm spending a couple of days at the airport to do that. But it's like it'll give me something to do in those couple of days that I'm mostly at the airport. Obviously, I'll take Holly for a walk multiple times to get her out, toilet her, all of that. But I'm thinking of the fact that the time that I'm going is when it's hot, when there's liable to be thunderstorms or all of that sort of thing. If it's too hot, I can't go out, but also I can't risk Holly in that if it's going to be above 35 degrees or above 30 degrees even, it is too hot to risk Holly going out because you could make them sick or give them heat stroke. So in that case, obviously we'd be going out for a bit of a walk early in the morning. If we have to go out for a toilet during the day, we will. But otherwise, it'll basically be just taking it easy kind of thing. Because I won't be wanting to do public transport and all the rest, trying to get Holly around between different places, because the heat also affects me and all of that. And so I'm not quite sure that I will be going out if it's going to be a really hot day or whatever, except to toilet Holly and maybe give her a bit of a walk. And because if I'm having to do free stuff too and get to free places, get in between between the trains and wait for trains on the train stations and all of that, which aren't air conditioned or anything because they're above ground. It's just, I don't want to risk Holly's health in those sort of conditions. Plus I'm only able to do free stuff, like there's some free stuff that I'm possibly interested in for Christmas events that occur at night time, so possibly go to some of those if I can. But with my public transport allowance sort of limited and having to leave a certain amount so that I can actually get home from the airport to here, it's going to possibly, depending on, like, I don't think it costs too much. I think it's like $5.60 or something a day. So I think I would be okay with getting around, but it just depends on temperatures, because I have to think of myself, because I'm the only one there to look after Holly. And if I get crook from the heat or something and pass out or whatever, then there's no one there to do anything about Holly, or to help me with Holly, or know what to do with Holly, particularly if she's out of vest. And then it's also having to make sure that I'm caring for Holly and looking after her well-being. And I don't want to risk her getting heat stroke and that either. Like, we may have a day, depending on the temperature, that I'm considering taking us to the beach and we can go swimming at the beach kind of thing. But depending on weather, and how hot it is, or if it's rainy. Because if it's rainy, I can't take out the wheelchair because it is the wheelchairs aren't waterproof, and I don't want to cop, especially if it's a hire, I don't want to cop like custom chair that I'm possibly getting. The power assist part alone is over $20,000. I don't really have the money to cover a $20,000 battery malfunctioning because I go out in the rain and it's not waterproof. Like, technically, those things should be made waterproof because of the fact that people are using them and that. But if I can't afford a taxi and stuff, I'm not going to be wanting to go out in the scooter and risk wrecking the scooter. Like, it's okay, very light rain, but heavy rain and all of that, it's too much of a risk kind of thing, and it's not a good idea taking them out in that sort of weather. It's just too much of a risk. So, in that case, on those days, I basically have to stay at the accommodation. If I have to take Holly out to toilet her, I have to try and walk her out to toilet her. And, like, I was trying to work on that before I dislocated my toe. I haven't been able to do it much since dislocating my toe, but I'm going to try and get back to it once I can get my toe back in place, hopefully, which I still haven't. But just take each day as it comes. But yeah, so there's going to be times when I just can't go out, and if it's hot days, obviously I'll take her out in the morning or the evening kind of thing. But we won't be wanting to be out during the heat of the day because of how crook it makes me, but also how much of a risk it is for Holly as well. Unless we're in somewhere air-conditioned till later in the day, but I may not be well enough to wait around the whole day to go back to the accommodation to rest or stuff like that. So that's like, I'm okay with spending some time in the accommodation just relaxing and all the rest, because that was always the plan anyway because of how I'm feeling. Yeah. My scooters aren't waterproof either. They can be used in light rain, but nothing else. But none of these wheelchairs or scooters are actually waterproof. So, you can use them in light rain, but anything heavy. I learnt that with a $1,000 plus water, a $1,000 plus damages charge due to water, due to my scooter getting really wet and really heavy rain. And it basically rusted out the mechanics and stuff like that. And this wheelchair is worth even more than my scooter. And if it's a hire, I don't really want to have to try and find $20,000 out of pocket if something like that happens. And like, I intended on having rest days at the accommodation anyway, so that I didn't end up overdoing things and making myself really crook that way too, because that can happen if I don't take rest days. But just due to all those unknown factors, I was considering taking something with me, so including like my iPad, so I can watch stuff or have something to do on those days, other than when I have to take Holly out to toilet her or so on and so forth. And I'm not going to, it was more intended on being a relaxing thing anyway, and not going to this event, that event, blah blah blah. Mine lives outside. You're lucky then, because the wheelchairs and scooters here aren't waterproof, which sucks. it does. But yeah, so I intended on having a relaxing time there anyway. But between times when I do things, I'm just going to have to find things that are free or fairly cheap to get to, like catching public transport that's got a certain amount it charges per day, and then you're not charged anything over that amount, which I think is like $5.60 or something like that. And so I was going to try and find free things, or if it was too hot, I was just going to stay at our accommodation. Or if it was rainy, obviously I was going to stay at the accommodation then too. And when I have to take Holly out, just have to walk her somewhere. On a hot day, I'd be able to take the wheelchair. But on the rainy days, I would have to walk her without the wheelchair, just due to the waterproof situation thing. And otherwise, I intended on having those days just relaxing at the accommodation kind of thing. But then I was thinking, well, depending on if I can fit something in my luggage or not, then I might need to try and fit some stuff in that I can sort of do other than just watching shows. And obviously there would be playing with Holly as well, entertaining her. But I'd have to try and make sure that I had some stuff to fill in the time then if I did decide I wanted to do something kind of thing. So, whilst I was just relaxing at the accommodation, but it depends on luggage space and all the rest, so if it doesn't fit in with luggage space, then I'll just leave it at home and just have my iPad and blah 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 blah. Yeah. But yeah, so and it just so happens the time I chose is some of the possible wettest times in Australia possible, as well as the hottest times in Australia. So, and that's also about trying to work it so that I don't make myself crook at the end of the day either, because I'm the only one there to care for Holly and make sure that she's looked after and all the rest. So I've got to try and make sure that I don't make myself crook at the end of the day by doing stuff when I know that it's going to make me crook as well. So, but I always intended on having just time where I could relax at the accommodation doing stuff. But it all depends on luggage space and all the rest, so. Because as I said, mine and Holly's stuff all has to go under my luggage allowance at the end of the day. Because it seems stupid, but the airlines don't allow extra luggage for assistance dogs. It all has to fit under their handler's luggage allowance. So, it kind of seems a bit silly, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about the rules that they have. Just gotta make it work. But one thing I won't have going up there is all the extra food that I need for Holly, because the fact that I'm going up there to meet Holly's breeder and her mentor, who's also been mentoring me and Holly a bit, I was able to pay for all the food that I needed for Holly and basically get it sent straight there, so I'm not having to cart that on the aeroplane. So basically I'll have a day or two left over that I'll cart up there, but I won't have 2 weeks worth of food that I have to cart on the plane at that point. So that'll be some weight out of my luggage anyway for that point, but I'll have some stuff that I need to bring back, but it'll be fairly lightweight, I think. But yeah. I guess I'll work it out more when I get closer as to what I do once I'm able to start packing, and once I find out if my OT has found somewhere where I can get this wheelchair bag that I need, because I can't physically have Holly have a higher chair that I'm having to use the power assist handle on to maneuver the chair and try and have luggage as well, because I'm not going to be able to carry the luggage and carry Holly and use a higher chair's power assist with the little lever thing you use to move the chair around. So hopefully the OT will get back to me with what we're going to be able to do there, because the one that I was looking at is currently having some modifications and stuff done to it, so they don't know when it'll next be in stock and all the rest. And yeah, they're currently out of stock, and so hopefully we'll be able to work something out so that I've got something by December. It's kind of a pain, the amount of planning that needs to go into going somewhere on your own with the disability, but it is what it is. Probably go to bed after this colour, I'm thinking. We'll see. Them wolves look scary. Yeah, they're actually puppies. It's kind of creepy, the grin on it though. Kind of more highlighted now I've done the black though. They are. Yeah. Trying to go somewhere on your own with an assistance dog with disability equipment. It's a whole nother matter. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to look at working out the hire chair soon, because I want to leave at least 2.5 months to try and get things approved, because if you've got a wheelchair with a battery, you got to get it approved to even be allowed to have it on the plane. So I've got Holly approved, but I still have to find out what sort of hire chair I'm going to be able to get, and then apply to get it applied for and accepted on the plane to travel on the plane, because batteries are considered dangerous, and so you got to have everything approved before getting on the plane and all the rest. And yeah, so hopefully once things roll over, OT will be able to help me work out the hire, so then I can get onto Qantas and apply for that. And then I've got to find a new plan manager and blah 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 blah. But it makes it more complex that because I've got Holly, I'll have the power assist chair with the remote for moving it. I'm not going to be able to push my luggage, so I'm going to have to try and find something there that attaches to the wheelchair. And the whole rigmarole. Looks like it's got Lippy on. Yeah, maybe it's a clown wolf. Maybe it is. Maybe. Yeah, and then I've got a lot to try and work on getting new people on under my NDIS stuff to help me and get a new team set up there. One thing at a time. Thinking about it all at once right now is making me feel overwhelmed. But I guess it just depends on the amount of luggage, if I can fit something or not, blah, 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 blah. I'll just have to wait and see. we've got a tube thing, maybe it's about fitting something in a tube to take up there. Who knows? I don't know. Guess I'll look into it more as the time comes, as I need to look into everything. And I've got to try ringing around about plan managers and stuff like that now too, and but I'll probably look into that later this week when I'm feeling a little more capable of doing so. I'll probably have to basically plan a day where I'm basically staying at home for that day, because doing all that stuff really exhausts me. So, yeah, it has to happen, but I just haven't had the energy yet to get into all of that. But kind of need to get into it now, because I've had my review and now I need to just try and get those things sorted and going. Will you be walking around the airport? No, I'll be using the wheelchair at the airport as well. I can't do much walking long distance at all. It's even a struggle just walking the block that I've been trying to work on walking, just because if it's the only reason I started trying to work on that was so I had a bit of capacity to still be able to meet Holly's needs when away if it was raining, because most of the places with grass are like a block away from our accommodation. And so basically, if it's raining, I can't use the wheelchair. And so I was trying to work on my walking capacity for a block so that I would be able to still meet Holly's needs with her toileting, because it's not like I can just expect her to hold it all day and then have to deal with an accident in the accommodation, which isn't appropriate as an assistance dog, and blah 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 blah, and then I'd waste my money, my security bond money, and it's like, and ruin our reputation a bit, or risk having someone put in a complaint against us and blah 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 because I haven't taken her out to meet her needs because it's raining. So I started trying to work on walking the block so that at least I'd be able to meet her needs still if it is raining, because I can't just expect her to hold it all day because of the rain. And because, like a hot day, I would still be able to use the wheelchair. But, or if it's the battery's used, another thing too was if the battery in the wheelchair's used because I was doing something that day and it's on charging, I'm also not going to be able to use the wheelchair to get to where I need to. So I was trying to work on being able to walk the block so that at least I could meet Holly's needs if it was raining and I couldn't use the wheelchair. And it leaves me in a lot of pain in that doing that, but I have to be able to meet Holly's needs. The last thing I want is for her having an accident somewhere because I haven't taken her out to go or anything. And it's my responsibility to make sure her needs are met. So but I haven't been able to do it whilst my toe is dislocated. I learnt that lesson. So I tried one day and then I was in severe pain all night. And so, yeah, haven't done it again since. Yep, I'm live, locked in diamond painting. How nice to see you. Nice to see you too. Nice, Emma. Yeah, I'm just... Yeah. It's a real struggle trying to work out how I'm going to manage to meet Holly's needs, how I'm going to be able to do stuff, because I won't have other people with me and all of the rest. So I'm trying to, over time, work all of that out and try to work on myself, because I am big on making sure that Holly doesn't have accidents anywhere with the assistance dog stuff and that too. And it is really tricky with my wheelchair and that not being, with the wheelchairs and stuff not being waterproof. Be able to make sure that I can get out and make sure she can go if it's raining. So, girl, I be slow. Multi-place is awful. Yeah, well, I'm not using multi-placing either. Mine's all single placing. Both tips of this pen are single place, but I tend to prefer one side over the other because one side is slightly thicker. I do. Yeah. I'm just pondering through all of my stuff that I've got to try and work out with regards to my disability, NDIS stuff that I've got to deal with here in Australia. The fact that I've got a solo trip, just me and my assistance dog, coming up, and I'm trying to work out if I'll be able to take a diamond painting piece, because if it's raining and that, I can't go anywhere with my wheelchair because it's not waterproof, and I won't have any spare cash to get anything basically by the time the costs for the trip are met, kind of thing. At least I won't know if I'll have any left over till basically towards the end of the trip anyway. And I'm going to be careful because I've got places where I can cook my food and all the rest. I'm trying to work out, like the aeroplane people said that once I'm in their airport, they will help me get around to where I need to go and that with my wheelchair and Holly and that, but still got to try and work on getting something so that my luggage can be attached to the wheelchair. And the thing that we're looking at, where I was possibly going to be able to get it, is currently out of stock and doesn't know when it'll be back in because they're currently making modifications to it. And nothing is simple. I got hit by a semi. Wheelchair is rough, but people are amazing and can do awesome things when put up to a challenge. My assistance dog was a life changer. Oh, that's awesome. Mine's been a life changer too. She's snoozing in the background on her placemat right now. I finally started feeling, because I kind of neglected the obedience stuff with at home and out of vest obedience stuff, so I'm just starting to try and work through that now, as well as work on myself and how things affect me and all the rest, blah, blah, blah. And I'm the only one that can take responsibility for her bad behaviours because of the fact that I'm the one that let her get away with that stuff by neglecting the thing because of everything that I was going through. So, yeah. Now trying to work on that. I've got to try and get supports going. I've got to try and find new people and supports, plan managers and all of the rest. And it's just... I've got to stop thinking about it all at once right now because it is just overwhelming thinking about it all. At least I've got approval for my assistance dog on the plane flights, which is something. That's a start. But then once I work out what I'm going to be able to hire, then I've got to apply for getting that approved and all the rest, and trying to get my OT to organise it so that it will be sorted in plenty of time to make sure that I get approval and blah, 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 blah. We'll get there. I had to hang a backpack off the handles. Don't worry how it works out in the end, no stress. Yeah, well, basically, I need a bigger one because I'm gone for 28 days. So I'm gone for 14 days in Melbourne and then 14 days in Brisbane. And I need a bigger backpack because of the fact that I have to cut up mine and Holly's stuff in the same bag. And I'm gone that many days that I need to make sure that I can cover us for that amount of time. And we're trying to look into this Phoenix wheelchair bag, which actually attaches to the wheelchair, because with a power assist, basically I've got the handle, so one hand is occupied with the handle, manoeuvring the wheelchair around with the power assist. The other hand is being used to maintain control of Holly, and then I need the bag to be attached on the back of the chair so that I can still get the case around, because there's no way I'm going to be able to handle a case, try and manoeuvre the wheelchair with the manual and manoeuvre Holly as well. So I made things tricky for myself. But yeah, hopefully OT will get onto it and we'll get it sorted sooner than later. Hopefully. My airport had an employee help me with my bags. Yeah, well, the airport people said they would help me once I got in the door, but anything before I get in the door to their actual lounge, they can't help me with. So I have to try and get from the accommodation, which is why I'm staying at the airport for a couple of days to get used to where I am and where I need to go, blah, blah, blah. And so that I don't have the stress, because the airport also changed my flight to an earlier flight because of my approval with Holly. So my flight was changed to earlier so that they could have Holly and me next to each other. But yeah, they said they'll meet me once I get in there. But all the stuff to do with getting there, getting my luggage in there, all of that is up to me. So yeah. It's like they'll help me once I'm there, but anything between there and getting from the other accommodation to such and such, yeah. And I almost forgot that I'll need to leave 30 off my taxi allowance to get the aeroplane flight thing out to get the Sky bus or whatever from Melbourne Airport out to, from Southern Cross out to Melbourne Airport to Tullamarine Airport. And, yeah, I've just got to stop thinking about it right now. just the first time I've done a really big, long trip me alone because it felt possible now that I have Holly to help me. But it's just trying to work out how I'm going to manage to do everything and get to places on limited budget, limited funds. By the time I pay for my accommodation, I'm kind of hoping that security bond will come back in the time frame of me being in Brisbane, so that'll be a little bit of a backup, but it's not guaranteed. Yeah. Yes, I'm in love with your painting, such a mood. But like over 100,000 diamonds, yeah, I know. I'm not sure how many I've still got in boxes, but I counted like 150 or 159 pieces. I thought I had closer to 200. Maybe I've got closer to 200 with what I've got still in boxes on my cupboard. I don't know. But a lot of those are 90,000 plus pieces, huge pieces. So some aren't quite so big, but others are bigger. I've been tossing up whether for Halloween, but I was trying to get this, and I've still got another whole one, which is another 100,000 or so drills that I wanted to try and get done. Yeah, I've got 180 centimetre by something centimetre one from Dreamer Designs, I think. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. I've got two of them actually. They're the only ones I've gotten from Dreamer Designs, and I only got them because I wanted to do a review between Diamond Art Club and Dreamer Designs. Yeah, I've got Church for All Seasons and 180 by 60 centimetres. And I've also got Lakeside Paradise. Oh no, or is it Sunday Morning in Spring? Might be Sunday Morning in Spring that I've got, and Lakeside Paradise, I think. Yeah, I think I've got Sunday Morning in Church. Yeah, let's just say I'm a sucker for big projects. In jigsaw puzzles, I've got a puzzle that's over 50,000 pieces. Yeah, you got the one that, yeah, the Woodland Church in Spring or whatever. And then I've also got the other one. I'm a size queen, winky winky. Laugh out loud. I don't know what it is, I'm just a sucker for big projects. I like big projects that last a long time. Love Dreamer Designs. I haven't actually I've only bought 2 Dreamer Designs, and that was to test them. Diamond Art Club's been my favourite so far, but yeah. Can probably tell with a stretch of the budget finances wise, and that's kind of what's making me feel stressed, but I need to leave at least $40 in the transport thing to be able to actually get to the airport with the taxi thing. So I might just be relaxing a lot around the accommodation, or going to the park that we're right next to. I might be. But that's okay. We've got a markets nearby, and depending on how far things are, I should be able to get somewhere with a certain distance with the wheelchair. It's anywhere from 10 to 13 k's or whatever that's possible with the wheelchair on the power assist battery. That's if you're not taking it off power assist at times to use on manual kind of thing. Depending where I am, if I'm on a flat space somewhere, maybe it's sometimes, depending on how I feel, I may use it manual at times. It just depends. If I'm in my accommodation, obviously I'd just be using it manual to get around and do things. But yeah, I did have a lot more budget till I basically had a heap of unexpected expenses go and wipe out that budget that I had left over towards it. Sometimes life sucks, but at the same time I keep reminding myself, well, at least I can be grateful that I had that budget there to cover those unexpected costs. So, because otherwise I would have been in more debt. So, at least I was able to still pay for those things that I had to pay for, because I had that bit of allowance there. But now it's just hoping nothing else happens between now and when I go on December the 20th. And I've got another trip on October the 18th to the 22nd in Melbourne, because I've got to go down for Holly's assistance dog review. So, yeah. Fingers crossed it'll all work out. It will. Got a lot going on between all my NDIS stuff, people not actually supporting me or listening to my needs, blah blah blah. But yeah, I don't need to go into all that shit. I'm trying to keep all that shit out of my mind and keep a more positive outlook about things without keeping that shit in my mind all the time. So and I'm just hoping that all will go to plan with this trip, even though funds are now basically strictly limited to exactly what I need to get to my accommodation, blah blah blah. Even food's reduced a bit due to the unexpected costs. But it's going to be, I'm just going to have to go as cheap as possible with the markets, and I'm probably just going to buy bags of pre-cut frozen veggies or something like that, because that's what I've started using at home to try and make things a bit easier for me. And I'm probably just gonna go with as cheap as possible. The only time I'm not going to be able to buy stuff to cook is basically going to be when I'm at the airport and I don't have access to a kitchenette or kitchen. So that's basically the only time I'm not going to have access to the ability to cook and try to keep things as cheap as possible. So but I'm just going to have to try and budget as cheap as possible to cover my ability to eat at the end of the day, and just work from it there. It will. But it's okay to get annoyed at times, I get it. The US is bad. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I haven't really been following all the world stuff because I kind of get into this thing. My OT reckons I'm basically in autistic burnout, which is where you keep trying to be how others want you to be and try to fit in and try to fit in. And then you get to the point you just can't cope and you shut down and blah, blah, blah. So I've been at that shutdown point and I just haven't been following what's been going on with the world at all lately. And it's like, when I can cope okay, I sort of half keep up with a bit with what's going on in the world. Like, I don't tend to watch TV. And I'll tend to just watch things like Disney Plus. Because that's what I handle that helps with distractions and all of that, with what I'm dealing with the pain and all of the rest. But when I'm not in autistic burnout, I tend to sort of follow a little bit what's going on in the world. Or I'll check things on the internet or whatever. But when I'm in autistic burnout, which I didn't even know about this till my new OT came on board, basically I shut down and I just can't cope with anything in the world, and I just shut out everything in the world, which is kind of where I've been lately. And so I know the current financial crisis, all of that is dreadful here and in America, and that with price increases with cost of living and all the rest. But it's like I go into this place where I just shut down everything because I just can't cope with anything anymore. And it's like last night I didn't even recognise about this topic called on this person, Gypsy Rose, and I basically, because I've just been shut down and I just haven't been wanting to take in anything in the world, because basically everything that I've been doing has just been survival mode for me, and I'm now starting to come out of it a bit, but I'm probably going to have to go back to trying to be how others want me to be, not the new person that I'm starting to become, because no one can accept the new me and they just keep thinking I'm being difficult or this or that, and I'm not going to go into all of that shit, but it's like, so I kind of pay attention to things when I'm not in that state, but when I am in that state, I tend to find that I just shut down. I don't know anything about the world, because that's my way of sort of helping myself to be able to manage and cope again. Oh, she like killed her mum, I think, yeah. There is a reason I've named my YouTube Locked in Diamond Painting. I'm kind of a shut-in. No, just do you. People don't like it, oh well. That's what I'm slowly starting to learn to do, but people have chucked the shits now because I put my foot down and all the rest. And started standing up for myself, saying, no, I want to stay here, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not going to go into all that shit again, because I'm trying to keep all of that stuff out of my head. Because I'm trying to get rid of that negative, depressed state of mind and find more happy, more positive things, all the rest again, because I'm sick of being stuck in that place that others have held me in for so long. So I don't know if you're hearing any of the, other than the rain and thunder, I don't know if you're hearing any of the little creepy ambient sounds in the background at all. So I put on one that's meant to have Halloween sounds, and at odd times I hear a little bit of something come across, but not regularly. Like you hear the wolf howl and then like this odd childish cackle, that kind of thing. I only got to experience Halloween for the first time here in Australia last year with my assistant's dog. And that was my first time ever experiencing Halloween, and since then, whilst I'm not someone who handles creepy stuff a lot, ever since then, I've kind of been looking forward to Halloween this year, but it's nothing like what I've seen in America. And And it's like I'm not a person that handles spooky or scary easily. But, like, it was more like family-friendly kind of Halloween here last year. But just getting out and doing that with Holly made it a really special thing for me, and I'm looking forward to it this year. Well, if I did it as everyone wanted, I'd never diamond paint. I can hear them. I'm colourblind and they don't get it. But I'm like, whatever. Thanks, that makes a lot of sense what you're saying. I didn't realise that I had most of that bottom layer done. I guess that's because it's mostly browns. Oh well. But yeah, Halloween was made special for me because for the first time ever that I got to experience Halloween, I did it with my assistant's dog. And that was really special for me. And now I'm looking forward to this year, but it's like I don't know if wolves are kind of considered Halloween, but I don't know if this piece would be considered Halloween. Last year I started Bat's Moon by Sarah Richter, and I'm not sure whether I go back to continuing that or whether I keep trying to work on this and keep trying to work on the other. And then I've got another piece that I need to start because I want to gift this piece and another piece to someone, because I've basically I've got two of this piece and two of another because I accidentally ended up with doubles. But yeah, so I was tossing up, well, do I just continue this one for Halloween kind of thing? That brown is not meant to be there. How did you sneak your way there, Brownie? I don't know. But yeah, I guess we've got a clown face wolf. See the one with the smile, the red smile? That one right there. Werewolves are like a creepy thing, I think. They are, but I think these are just normal wolves. But still, I think it kind of works. Yeah, I know, that's what I said. We've got a clown type wolf. We do. Let's see. Hey, that's a pastel green. I need to do this painting, but like I already have so many I'm doing. The shame. What, that we got a clown wolf? And I've got a heap of in-progress ones, but same for colouring pieces and that. But I want to try and work through and finish each one at a time. I've got a new piece that I have to start for the gift thing, like this one is. But I'm thinking I don't think I'm going to pressure myself to try and have it finished by the time I go to Brisbane. I just don't think that's a good idea, trying to stress myself out with trying to finish it before I go up there, because I don't think with weight allowances and that it's going to be a good idea to try and take it on the plane. No, I have like 8 work in progress. I've got like 5 or 6, I think. I've finished 2. I've finished 1 and a second one that I gave away. So I've finished 2, and I've got like 5 or 6 work in progresses currently. And I kind of realise now, as I learn myself more, that I prefer to work on one piece at a time and finish it, because I was finding, now that I sort of know myself more, like I always thought that I had to work on multiple pieces at once and switch between them and have that variation, and I still like variation, but I've now realised that I was getting very confused trying to work through multiple pieces at once, and I kept forgetting which colours were which and what I was doing with each and blah blah blah. So now I want to try and work through finishing each piece and then only work on one piece at a time, because it's just, now I know myself and what works best for me. It's like I've realised that I was just mixing myself up all the time with knowing what was what and what I was doing and what colours I was using and blah 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 blah. And so now I'm trying to work through the pieces and finish each, and then just work through one piece at a time, and then I can just focus on one piece at a time. But now that I've started another piece thinking I wanted to do that, well, I've got another piece there if I want to gift this and another piece, but I'm thinking flying it up is not great, and I don't want to try and pressure myself to try and finish it by the time I go there, because like I may have periods where I'm not well enough, and then I may stress myself out because I'm not near to finishing it and blah 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 blah, and that's not the aim of it all. It's to be relaxing, not stressed. And so I'm thinking I'm not necessarily going to stress about starting that one straight away. I can always send it up to them at a later date, kind of thing. But it's just, I want to try and work through one piece at a time and try and finish them before I go and continue. On to new pieces and get pieces caught up and completed, so that I'm not getting myself confused all the time, switching between pieces constantly and all the rest. And it's like, I still like having variation and stuff, but it's not worth trying to constantly switch between pieces to keep people entertained, because then I was ending up confused and mixed up with what I was doing, and it would take me a while off camera or whatever to work out what I was doing, where I was up to, blah blah blah. And so I just realised what works best for me is just completing one piece at a time and staying focused on that piece till it's done, so that then I'm able to know what I'm doing and all the rest. Because I happen to accidentally mix colours and everything, and like even in this one I actually found, I think there's another one that I might have mixed the colours in as well, but I didn't realise till I had my glasses on. But I actually mixed the colours because I got confused between the colour tubs and all of that, because I was switching between pieces. So, and also I realised too that I can't just try to pressure myself into finishing something fast, because then I just end up stressed and I end up not enjoying it, then I end up messing things up, all the rest. So I'm just